Hi, my name is Joshua Montrell. I am 17 years old, and I am here to see U.S. Attorney Kenneth. This has been a great opportunity and a lifelong dream of mine, and let's see what he has to say. Did you always dream that you would become a U.S. Attorney?
Probably from age 10 or so, around the time I started doing speech and debate activities in elementary school, was when I started thinking about becoming an attorney. Well, it's tough to really kind of plan to become U.S. attorney. It's a pretty difficult job to actually get because it requires being nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate. I would say, the job of being an assistant U.S. attorney was something that I started contemplating right after I graduated from law school.
What was high school like for you, and what was your favorite subjects?
Gotcha. So high school for me, I went to Dulles High School. I got a scholarship there, academic scholarship there. Was very active in a lot of organizations, student council, academic games, speech and debate, in addition to obviously the academic work. Math was probably my favorite subject. It's what I probably excelled in the most. And ended up graduating as valedictorian from school. You have to get good grades, so it means working pretty hard in school. I would, in terms of school subjects, I would say focus on your writing, because while being a great advocate in court and being able to speak on your feet is a critical skill, the overwhelming majority of the decisions in our cases are decided just on paper, just on the written advocacy. So your ability to be persuasive on paper is very important. Things like punctuation, spelling errors, very basic syntax, subject-verb agreement issues. If a judge or a law clerk sees those types of errors in your paperwork, they basically throw it to the wayside and you lose all credibility in their eyes. And so being able to be a very accurate, very precise, very effective writer is probably the most important skill to becoming a good lawyer.
What is your responsibility as the U.S. Attorney?
So I am the Chief Federal Law Enforcement Officer for this entire region, basically Southeast Louisiana, the 13 parishes that make up Southeast Louisiana. That means that every criminal investigation and prosecution on the federal side comes under my signature. Every litigation on the federal side in terms of civil cases or defending the government, the federal government that are part of court cases here in this district, all of those are basically under my signature as well.
What's the typical day in a life of being Kenneth?
So my typical day starts around 8:30 here in the office. Most of my staff starts to arrive around that time. The very first meeting that I usually have scheduled is with my senior staff members. So I've got 4 senior managers in the office, and so we usually meet for about 15 minutes. It's not a long meeting. It's just about that day. What are some of the issues that we might confront that day? And then the next thing that happens is I then head out of my office and I start walking around my office. We have 3 floors here. I typically try to walk around at least 2 of those floors, making sure I get a chance to see all of the employees in the office, make sure that everything is going okay with them. A lot of the day is actually spent outside of the U.S. Attorney's office itself. Sometimes over in court, as we went to court today, there's oftentimes meetings with judges, observing events that are happening in court. And then other times I'm just meeting with people in the community, whether it's with government or non-government partners that we may have in terms of our work here at the U.S. Attorney's Office. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I went to Harvard University for college. In Georgetown for law school. I worked at some fancy law firms, some fancy judicial chambers as well. And about 3 years ago, the president called and asked me to serve in this role as U.S. Attorney. Gentlemen, I stand before you as the youngest United States attorney in the entire country. right here from the office.